Alright guys, got a short video for you today. Simple patch, big bass, easy life. Here it is. If you like this sound, please consider supporting me on Patreon, where I give all of my presets for just $3. If not, go ahead and drop a comment or subscribe if you want to help me out. With all that out of the way, let's get right into this patch. So for this bass, all we're going to do is put this on a simple sine wave with analog BD sine and throw this on the analog wavetable 4088. Let's go ahead and knock this down -3 so we get it on the right key. I don't have to reach all the way back. Let's set up a sub as well that's directed out, -3 as well. There's not a lot going on here besides setting up FM and a couple other things. So let's go ahead and move this over here and get this on this bottom of the second box right here. Knock it on 1/8 and don't forget to throw it on trigger. And we're going to go ahead and FM from B, so we're going to knock the level down here. And go ahead and FM. So I put it on 32%, and then we're also going to have it go up 27, and that's going to give us the first part of our bass. The second thing I'm going to do is put this on asymmetrical minus, knock this over, and bring this all the way back. And it kind of gives it a little bit more mechanical flavor. For the second LFO, we're just creating a ramp and just moving this down slightly. You don't have to move it down a ton, but just slightly. I put it on envelope, or you can put it on trigger, it's up to you. But I have this on 1/4 triplet, and just because it worked out for the timbre of the sound when I had all my filters and everything going. And we're gonna go ahead and put that on the level to make it more plucky. You can also do this on the level right here. And we just kind of have these two LFOs working against each other, which kind of creates an interesting effect. I've been doing that a lot more. And for our filter, we're going to do a classic band 12 that we're just going to crank the drive up on in order to get that awesome movement that we're going to send through the distortion. And this bass actually moves pretty intensely. We're going to go ahead and take LFO1 and throw it on and get it up to like 70. Get a cool little wah movement. And from there, all we're doing is we're putting on a filter, distortion, and a compressor. The filter I'm actually putting before the distortion this time, and it's been something I've been experimenting with a little bit more, is taking the reverb filter and putting it before the distortion and compression, and that's been getting some really cool effects. So let's crank this up. I have this on tube, and for some reason just turning down all the drive still has a crazy I don't know. Still has a crazy effect on the reverb filter. Don't ask me why or how. Then we're going to go ahead and turn on the multiband. Just mess around with the bands to get it right. You could put this maybe on... This one I put on 130. This one I put on like 180. And then the bottom one I just cranked up to 180 as well to get some more bass. Increase the release a little bit to get more of the sound encompassed. Make it a little bit more intense. So then with the reverb filter, I put it on 271, put LFO2 on it, and only brought it down -2. And this is where you're going to get kind of just more movement. And here you can even play around with it. Get all sorts of different timbres. And then we can also just modulate the resonance to go up from 50% to about like 30, get a little bit more intensity out of it. And then we can increase the drive all the way. And we just get a really loud, awesome sound here, but we're not done. One thing I forgot to do on the front page is just kind of turn down the resonance, because there seems to be a lot of low end kind of mud. Putting down the resonance kind of helps with that and gets our sound where it needs to be. So one final thing we can do that kind of makes the sound interesting over time is kind of mess with the pitch. And you can do lots of things with the pitch here. You don't have to do it the way I do it, but I just kind of went into the matrix and put the master tuning on -5 with, I think it's unipolar. Make sure it's only pointing to the right. Put this on -5. And then with the notes, I didn't put a complete half step of bar in the piano roll. I only kind of put a little bit. And that's how you get the mechanical feel to it, is by just making sure you're only using some of the note. And we can even go in and add some EQ, you know, bust this up. Get some more high end out of it. And from here, we can kind of mess with anything we want. You can mess with the wavetables. Get some cool sounds out of it. You can mess with this bar. So you got this squarified distortion coming out of the tube with no drive. It's kind of crazy to me that happens. I think it's because the drive's all the way up. So you can mess with the drive here to kind of lessen that effect if you want. Just get some cool sounds out of it. Sky's the limit. As always, this sound's going up on my Patreon. For just $3, you get over 100 sounds. So check it out if you'd want to really raise your arsenal up. It's a good way of skipping over having to do all the sounds yourself in the video. I also have a Discord where you can come on and drop your SoundCloud, some tracks, get feedback. There's a lot of cool people in here, and we would love to have you. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. See you on the next one.